be presenting question 1, which is what did the management team at VLF do well? Firstly, VLF researched how other hospitals were using electronic devices to manage medical records and learnt from their processes. VLF did a great job in communicating the rationale for change to staff members, and each department head ensured that their members fully understood the project and its benefits. Importantly, they made sure that their staff were offered the necessary training and support to adjust to the new ways of work. 8 general physicians who had graduated from medical school were hired for their IT knowledge. They were actively involved in the training and medical personnel in the use of SAP. A training module was launched in different levels of complexity so that no one was left untrained to smooth the transitioning process.
Hey guys, I'm Arby and I'm going to talk about what else the management team at VLF did well. Since SAP is an enterprise resource planning system, the management at VLF also had to make sure that all the stakeholders were aware of the changes that were being made. These changes to a paperless system affected everyone from doctors to billing clerks, as everyone was able to access the updated information at all times. As Norman pointed out before, communication at an early stage was crucial to make the overall transition easier. The management team was also successful in devising contingency plans that were put in place to avoid any life-threatening issues caused by system delays. The implementation of SAP made certain staff members obsolete. The management at VLF was able to keep their existing staff by relocating them to different departments within the hospital. By postponing the system rollout, VLF management was able to ensure that the system was fully functional and free of bugs before implementation. Next, we have Caitlin and Cecilia who are going to talk about what VLF could have done differently.
So what could the hospital have done differently? So they could have improved the direct conversion method of implementation, or they could have introduced a phased implementation method. So the direct conversion method of implementing SAP did come with a few disadvantages. First of all, there was a high level of risk. And second off, as the new system came into operation immediately, there was a significant amount of confusion. So this was also due to insufficient training, subsequent delays, lack of commitment by management, and also the backlog of information. So even though this could be a high rewarding strategy, it did come with major drawbacks. So what could have the hospital done? They could have had extra and more comprehensive training. This would have aided the Big Bang approach, and also it would have helped smooth the transition period. Now Caitlin's going to be talking about the phased implementation.
Good morning, I'm Caitlin and I'll be discussing a second alternative implementation strategy called phased implementation. This method focuses on introducing the system over a period of time, usually with multiple phases. VLF could have introduced a modified system at the go-live date and later integrated the whole system at the full implementation stage. This strategy focuses on increasing the level of training before and during the transition period to reduce the level of confusion and backlog of information experienced by the medical staff. Additionally, many of the staff had difficulty dealing with the fully computerized system, so the addition of memory-aiding devices, such as a step-by-step instruction manual, could have improved the system. I'll pass it on to Christine, who will help us know how to introduce the system in other circumstances.
Good morning, my name is Christine and I will be talking today about the change management strategy used at VLF during their SAP implementation. The change management strategy used at VLF is commonly known as the planned approach to change. This method of change management is a simple 3-stage process which can be adopted by any hospital or industry to ensure the successful implementation of change. The planned approach to change is depicted in Kurt Lewin's model. The change management strategy implemented at VLF can be generalised for any change process as follows. Stage 1 is unfreezing the organisation. This involves preparing the organisation for change, communicating the reasons for change to the organisation, and managing any doubts or concerns which are raised by employees. Stage number 2 is changing the organisation and involves resolving any uncertainties and encouraging and supporting staff throughout the change. Final stage is to refreeze the change in place. The organisation must re-establish stability and ensure an enterprise-wide change adoption takes place. This change management strategy is a simple model which any hospital or industry can use to implement organisational change.